Welcome everybody to the West Coast and good morning to you. It is morning, at least in the game. We have snow coming today. It is very late autumn. Winter starts tomorrow and it's going to be a very long winter. We've got hopefully enough hay to last us through this season for our cows. And we are, there's the cows right there. You can't really see them. Maybe if I can not die or crash into things. There we go. There's a good look at the cows and some of the great, awesome scenery on this map. Let's zoom out a little bit there and try to just take in some of the fall colors in the background. As long as the tree foliage doesn't get too good, I think I can manage this view. Anyway, in the time being, another day has advanced, and the results of the poll are in. The result that won by... why does that always stop? Is that an option in the menu, anyone, that I can turn that off so that it doesn't pop up? I don't care about messages like that. I never use them. Anyway, the results of the poll are in, and the one that was an overwhelming winner was the Black Sheep Modding Quad Pack Baler for the squares. So we're going to do that for straw and hay. And then for the silage, for the wrap bales, we will be using the Krone Ultima round baler. So I have purchased both of those. Right now there's no storage room. They are sitting home at the farm in a field, about ready to get snowed. Okay, here we go. Let's go back inside the cab so we can see a little bit. They're about ready to get snowed on, and we've got to find a place to store them. We might look at today maybe erecting some storage. I think that would probably be a good option after we unload these cows, and then we're going to get my brother carting cattle back and forth to and from the home farm. That's the plan, at least. And hopefully, I think that plan will stay. I did want to throw out there, let's do another poll. So, with our farm expanding, I know a lot of farms in the UK have telehandlers, and I think that I would like to get one of those. However, the problem is then that would make Heidi redundant because we don't really have a need for a third tractor. So that's kind of the problem, right? Then Fritz still has, as you can see right there, he still has the ability to be used as a front loader if we ever needed him, and a telehandler would just be a little bit easier around the farm. It can turn a little bit tighter with the, with the front and rear wheel steering. And then also it would allow us to, if we ever did want to expand and get one of those auto stackers that, you can't really reach with the square bale auto stack, you cannot reach the top bales with a tractor front loader. You have to have a telehandler for that. So if we had a telehandler, it would allow us to expand with that. Also, the telehandler bucket size is a larger volume capacity, although I know Durrell has changed those significantly in the game because the basic volume by Giants is not realistic. So I'm not actually sure what it is with the more realistic mod, but I would have to imagine that it is a little bit... here we go. One of my favorite views. Let's take it in. And here we go. One of the other additions. As you can see, the contractors have made a little bit more progress building the steel bins there. And you can see in the background our newest additions to the farm. Originally, I was actually going to wait until spring to buy them so we didn't accrue upkeep costs over the winter. But I got a good deal on them, so I bid on that. Okay, that's just a fictional story to explain why I have them now. I bought them at full price in the game. Anyway, I have also sold our 4-stacker, our current baler, and our loading wagon, and then I took out the maximum amount of loan that we could. In case you were wondering at the influx of cash, that is where it came from. We are maxed out in the current loan. So we have got to be especially careful, and so I shouldn't really be talking about spending money with a telehandler, but I want to because a lot of farms have that, and, I want a telehandler. So let's, I'll throw that option up there for the poll, and I'll let you guys decide. I do like Heidi and all of the black smoke that she belches all over the place. She's a lot of fun. But the other problem I noticed was for a lot of jobs, for example, I brought the bale trailer and Heidi out to the field, but then Heidi cannot pull the bale trailer back home by herself. Fritz actually had a problem pulling it back home by himself, and so Heidi it's just a little bit underpowered. Like, I even worry about not really worried, but this, wagon, for example, if it's full to capacity, it just seems like Heidi will have a hard time moving it around. I don't even think Heidi could move that bale trailer, for example, if we tried on the flat field. Granted, the traction is a little bit less on a field, but Heidi couldn't budge that trailer. And as much as I like Heidi, if we do get a telehandler, then obviously there's no need to keep Heidi around. But we do need, I don't know, I was actually thinking it might behoove us, if we do that option, to get, yeah, that's right. So if we get a telehandler, it might behoove us to get something, this doesn't have a front loader, which is why I didn't get it originally, but I can use Fritz for a tractor when I have a front loader, and if I have a telehandler, well then I don't need a tractor with a front loader, but having a smaller tractor like this to move things around, to travel to and from the store, for example, we have to use Fritz. We have to put all these run hours on Fritz, hauling just cattle to and from the store, and that's something that Heidi would struggle with. But I don't think if we had something like this, that's 137 horsepower versus Heidi only has 100, maybe 105, something like that. So I know lots of people like this Ford TW pack, that's why I didn't get it originally, but I think I'll put that up there as a poll. So the poll options will be keeping everything as it is right now. And then option number 2 will be selling Heidi and buying a telehandler. And then option number 3 will be selling Heidi, buying a telehandler, and another small tractor. Those are the options. Like I say, I wish I could just keep on stockpiling tractors. Maybe for a little while I'll keep Heidi around and I'll keep the Ford TW around. But I don't know, 4 tractors, it just doesn't make sense for a farm this size. I don't know, maybe having a third tractor or a fourth tractor could be good if I get my wife involved in the operation and, maybe get her out in the field one of these times. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But for right now, let's get my brother back going to get another set of cattle, and then we're going to figure out what else to do. Oh, it looks like the snow has changed to rain, so that's good at least. But we still have more equipment than space and we know what to do with. So I think that we will probably figure that out next. But for now, before the rain hits, let's get... Whoops, why did I unhook? Why did I do that? Okay. Let's just get my brother going to the store, take a nice white turn out of there, and off he goes. All right, and there he goes off to the store with the bale, or not the bale trailer, the Brogan cattle trailer. I converted that MR mod myself, and it looks like it's been working out nicely. And oh, look, that's just, the map just feels so much more alive when you have another tractor off there driving. That's just so much better. So what are we gonna do at this moment then? We can, you know what? Let's do this first. We're gonna move Landy. Oops. We're gonna move Landy in here. Just gonna park him a little bit. And there we go. Okay, so that way we get him out of the way of tractors coming in and out of here. Let's look at... Okay, actually, no. We're going to run over to Heidi, and we are going to figure out... We're going to make sure that these cows have some basic goods. So here we go. Let's look at the animals, and we have straw, silage, hay grass. Did it just start raining? Oh, boy. Okay, let's stop and make sure everything is under cover. We have a few straw bales that we're going to have to work on first, so let's get those under there first. I think we can just throw them in here. Real quick, let's look at the cows. They need some water right away. We don't have a water trailer, do we? Or no, I think I do. That's right, I parked it in there. So they have straw and then hay grass. I do have the hay grass mod. I do forget, I apologize who suggested that, but I think I already called out his name in previous episodes, so that is why hay grass is in the same category. It just feels a little bit more realistic. Anyway, it's kind of ironic that the cows need water at the moment, but let's get these straw bales under cover, maybe, and let's see if we can do this without messing things up too much. And as Modalicia correctly pointed out, I get the clutch warning because of, let's just put the first one in there. I get the clutch overheating warning because I was in way too high of a gear for the clutch, and an automatic clutch, it's It's a lot different than in real life. For example, in real life, if you're in a bit too high of a gear, but you want to leave it in that gear because you're starting out, I'm a little bit used to. So, for example, you have A, B, C, D, and then within those you have 1, 2, 3, 4 for the tractor, for the manuals that I'm used to driving. And if you, you know what? Let's just throw them inside here for a little bit. And so, for example, if you are driving on the road, you want to keep it in D because the road speeds are, you basically want to drive as fast as possible, and that is D. That's basically the only time you keep it in D. If you're working in the field, I think typically we keep it in C, and A and B we don't really ever use in that tractor. But for example, if you're on the road, you want to put it in D, you can only switch between A, B, C, and D if the tractor is stopped. So you cannot do that on the fly. So if you have a heavy load and you're starting out on the road, you start out in D1, and then the rest you can shift back and forth with, 1 and 2 you can power shift back and forth, 3 and 4 you can power shift back and forth. To go from 2 to 3 you need the clutch, but regardless you can do it while the tractor's moving. So you start out in D1, and if you have a heavy load, it is a heavier start, but it allows you to get up to D4 to traveling speeds, which on our tractors aren't really geared to drive on the road a lot in the Midwest, and so let's take a look at Fritzy there for a second. But tractors aren't geared to drive on the road in the Midwest, so it's not very fast. Anyway, I'm used to starting out in D1, and you can still, even if it is underpowered a little bit, you can let out the clutch all the way. And it's not like you have to ride the clutch the whole way until the tractor gets up to speed and power. You'll just belch a little bit extra black smoke while the tractor gets up to speed. And that's kind of what I was used to doing. But, that's not really necessary for work here around the farm. It's okay to stop all the way, come to a complete stop and shift gears if you need to. But anyway, that's why I was a little bit, it's a totally different feeling when you have an automatic clutch. Obviously, is that even a thing in real life? Well, I guess it is if you have an automatic transmission, but an automatic clutch with a manual transmission is a little bit foreign to me. And so basically, I didn't know when the clutch was engaged, and that's why Modification actually recommended keeping the HUD open like I have it now. I can actually see when the clutch is being right there, auto clutch. So since I'm using it for such a short amount of time, it looks like this V1 gear, when I'm not under load, it looks like this V1 gear is okay. And since since you can't feel that clutch engaged like you can in real life, obviously when you're riding the clutch and when you're not riding the clutch. However, in game, as he recommended, it is better to keep that little HUD up so you can instantly see what your clutch percentage is at. And that's what I was not doing during the cinematic, because I wanted to try to make it a cinematic. And so basically, based off my real life experiences, when the tractor was struggling a little bit, I just assumed that, okay, well, it's struggling, but you're not riding the clutch, because that's what I do in real life. But obviously that was a mistake, because it was actually riding the clutch, which caused it to overheat, and then when the clutch is hot, it doesn't work as good and causes you even more problems. And so, yeah, basically I don't know how to do cinematics with this tractor, because I guess maybe I'll have to keep that window open or just not use this tractor for cinematics. Or I guess, honestly, for cinematics, I could put it in, I could toggle off the manual gearbox, but that's just not as much fun. I really like playing with the gearbox and shifting. It really does feel a little bit more like you're driving a manual tractor in real life, and I especially like that if you happen to drive a, grain truck or a lorry, as they call them in the game. But it feels so much more real when you are able to do that. So let's actually go get the water trailer first. I think that's the better option here. And okay, we're gonna just back on in there, and there you go. Yeah, there we go. Let's kick it into a little bit of a high gear. There we go. We'll switch to the steering wheel, actually a lot smoother. And if I remember correctly, the water trigger is over on the other side of this farm up here to the north. Let's get a little bit closer. I think maybe that's a little bit wrong. Nope. There we go. Let's shift back down into 1. Whoops, wrong direction. Hello. I am just... Okay. There we go. That should be good for the water trailer, and it is empty indeed. Okay, it looks like as long as we don't have a load and we are empty on that load, you know, or we're not carrying anything, we can start out in the highest gear but the lowest gear. I don't know. The highest range but the lowest gear is what I'm trying to say. So the V there with the you know, V1 basically is what I'm trying to say. And let's just get on over here to the other farm. Hopefully this rain doesn't last too long. Okay, we will go on in and pull forward just to make backing up a little bit easier. Okay, I think we will stay and should we stay? Yeah, let's stay outside the cab just to cheat a little bit and give you guys a little bit prettier of a view. And also, since I haven't backed up to this a little bit, it'll kind of make it a little bit easier on me. Although getting in the way of the shed there makes it a little bit harder. And there we go. I think that will do it. Is that close enough? We are close enough. All right. We'll flip the direction back there. Well, that's filling up. Let's hop on out. I did part that off. We need a... Wait a minute. Why is that washed off? Now, that's interesting. Well, this kind of makes me wonder if we have the snow mask set over here because, well, I guess there's still dirt on there, but I would think that after using it in the field as much as we did, it'd be more dirty than that. I don't know. That's kind of worrisome. Maybe is it just sitting out enough in front of the snow mask that it washes off the entire vehicle? Is that possible? I'm pretty sure that the snow masks exist over there. Anyway, let's go over here and look at our construction project. We have got the steel bins. Oh, there's brother coming on home. And we're going to help him unload a little bit. I'll show him how to back up a little bit into the trailer. So here is our steel bins. This is going to be the dryer right here, and we're going to put a tower up there to deliver the grain. And we've got enough room in here for maybe a bin there, but some future expansion if we wanted to back here. We have enough to turn this into a little cooperative, and you know, maybe we could store some grain for some other farmers at one point. But right now, this is going to be our grain storage, and honestly, as soon as we get enough grain built up and some capital, maybe our loan paid off a little bit, I plan to expand down there to where the pigs are at onto Stonehill Farm, and then we will take over our pigging operation, and so we can store grain here for the pigs. I think that will be a fun little plan. I'm not sure. Let's see. So in here we're going to put, maybe we'll do that later today. Maybe we'll figure out where we're going to put buildings here and start laying the foundation for them. We got to get these out of the rain. They are brand new. We don't want them to rust. I just love, look at this. I love this thing. This is going to be a lot of fun to drive, I tell you. Yeah, this is going to be fun. You know, I did test this out on my test map. I didn't have any problems with it. I tried a little bit of course play and a little bit of follow me. It didn't really have any problems. Right now, it is set to manual loading of the nets, so we might eventually have to load some more. I think maybe you load back here because you can see that fill level of the foil roll is 100%. So I assume that it refers to these, and these are extra foil rolls, so I've never used this before, but I'm just guessing that eventually we'll have to take one of these and kind of put it back here and fill that up once the foil roll is empty back here. But that remains to be seen because I've never done this before. So there is automatic refilling of that we could get for 15,000 each. You could automatically refill the nets and you could automatically refill the foil. But right now we have manual on both because that would turn this into, well, an extra, what's that, $30,000, and that's basically more expensive than Frederick at that point, that baler. But anyway, with these balers, combined, I mean, that's a pretty huge investment. We're going to, yes, it is more efficient for our farm. We're going to have to grow our dairy operation to eventually use all that. But for now, I think that's going to be producing a lot of extra bales and selling those bales somewhere on the map. So that is the plan for now. Now let's go actually run and get brother. And we will offload the cow. Actually, you know what? Let's fill up with water first. We don't want these cows to die of starvation, or we don't want the cows to die of thirst when it's raining. That would be, whoops, I accidentally hit spacebar there. That would be a little bit embarrassing. All right, let's just head over here. I feel like when I do have that key up there, it is a lot easier to see what's going on. I do like driving with that up there. And I think we need to... Oh, no. Did I leave the gate open over there? I think yeah, I did. Okay, we got to remember to close the gates. We have animals now. We cannot afford to lose these animals. We'll just keep it in third gear here. We're almost over to the water trough. I believe this one is food. The water trough, I think, is back here further. Or maybe that is water. That one, no, this one's water, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, here we go. We're going to use the clutch and downshift. Go in reverse, of course. And I hope that we are on the correct side for the water trigger. We might have to head over to the other side. We'll see. It looks like so far we are not... Oh, well, okay. A wheel... With a wheel inside, we can fill up the trailer, and a cow's going to walk right through the spikes and impale itself, and another one goes too! Oh, cows. I'm sorry, Bessie. Oh, and another one goes. They just look like the blind leading the blind right there. That's just... Oh, goodness. Come on, get out of there! Okay, well, we're going to have to... Let's try not to spear any more cows, so let's go around them. Oh, goodness. Come on. Okay. There we go. There we go. You cows are taken care of. So at least they have water. We will top off, make sure their straw stuff is topped off. Maybe we'll do a little bit of cleanup later. For now, though, let's actually just park you right here. And we are going to shut the gate and keep the cows locked in. Because we have cows. We can't afford to do that. Okay. And, yeah, we got to close that one, too. And this one, too, I think. Right? Yeah, let's close that. Okay. Let's get in here, and I will show my brother where the cows were at. Okay, so brother, this is what you want to do. This is where we unload the cows. So it's best if you hop in here and take a nice wide turn over and miss the wall. Yeah. Make a nice wide turn and come in here. And see, brother, this is how it works. And there we go. Okay. This is a little bit tricky because you can't quite pull in enough to angle it by going straight, so you have to angle it a little bit. And there we go. Now we can go in straight from there and offload, I think. Where's that animal dialogue? There we go. Unload. And just out of curiosity, I want to check this out. So we are looking at late autumn. Oh, you know what? I think we're going to stop buying cows. Because right now, so 5,000 is the median price. Right now, they're up to 58.16. This is one of the most expensive times in the year to buy cattle. I made the mistake of buying them here. If we wait until winter, they go down a little bit cheaper. I think sometime in the summer, they are the absolute cheapest. But right now, they are not the cheapest. So we're going to stop buying cows today. Let's just put the trailer over here. And we'll spend the rest of the episode figuring out storage. So, okay, we will stop that there. And that is... Oh, goodness. That's unfortunate. Just out of curiosity, I kind of want to see how much... Okay, well, first of all, let's close these gates. But I want to see if we buy them I'm not looking at the total fee because I'm not going to buy them. I'm wondering how much the delivery fee on basically, okay, so let's do it like this. So basically $200,000 worth of cows. The delivery fee is $7,000, so $14,000, and then another, what's that? $3,500. So that's looking like quite, what would that be? That's the equivalent of, that could pay for several extra cows. So I think that what we are doing is the best option, where we are manually delivering them ourselves. We don't need to rush it here. We have a few cows to start getting going on slurry, milk production, etc. But for now, we got to get some of these items under cover. I guess I could try to cram everything in there, but I think what we want to do is actually, let's go grab Fritzy, and we will do some ground modification with Fritzy. Eventually, everything's just sitting out in the rain rusting. This is not the best thing to do. Okay, so I guess my brother lucked out. He has the rest of the day off. He's not going to be hauling any more animals today. And let's see, that is... Oh, is that enough room? That's not enough room. Okay, we're going to have to go pull this forward a little bit more. And then we will do ground modification and pick out where we want to put our shed. All right, let's actually just pull... Oh, goodness, this is going to be fun to try to... Oh, boy, there's just not enough space on this farm. For now, let's put it right here. And that should be enough space to get through. So I think that will work. I guess we could have actually pulled through the gate. That would have worked, but whatever. Okay. Fritzy's going to go grab the ground modification tool. And there we go. I almost hit it, even though I moved the trailer. Let's get over there. And I'm not actually sure if we can do this in the rain. So, well, you know what? Ground modification by itself isn't really realistic. But it's the most realistic thing you can do if you want to edit the grass texture in a save game file. It's the easiest way to do it. So whatever. It'll simulate... builders having, contractors come having laid the foundation or whatever. And so that's realistic enough. There's not really anything else we can do if we want to modify the ground itself. So let's look over here. And first of all, let's look at the buildings that we want. I think that it was... I want to say the Greek guy, Konstantinos Papas, if I got that right. I don't have my cheat sheet with me, but I think it was him that suggested these mountain hall variants. And so we just got to look at the different size. It looks like this one's the most expensive, so maybe it is the biggest, but maybe it's the biggest because it has multiple doors. So that's actually, so it's got several lights there. It looks like the openings are on this side. But we want to give ourselves some easy, turning. So maybe if we make it a little bit further back like that, or a little further back like that. Oh, is that a side entrance? If that's a side entrance, that could be good. Because then we could kind of have a few entrances to it. If we put it right in the middle like that, it really limits the amount of buildings. Maybe we could eventually put another building over here like that. But obviously it can't be too close to the power lines. The clearance, that's probably, I don't know what voltage or, whatever they use there, but I think the thumb rule is like 1 inch for every 1,000 volts is the line clearance requirement. So if we put it anywhere close to those power lines, we should be good. This looks like another building. So this looks like, is that an opening? It looks like an opening on the back and front. So we could drive straight through with that one. That is an interesting variant. And this one looks like it only has one, maybe, okay, 2 openings. It looks like the picture shows one that you can't see. So actually, I like this one the best. It is the most money, but it has the most doors, which makes it really nice because I think that if we do something like this, that would be preferable. Actually, let's do it at an angle. I like that idea because then we can turn in there and go almost straight in it from this angle. and we can still reach it from the side over on the left there. And then that also gives us enough room over here on the side to, put something else. So for now, let's try putting that there. But we're going to level out the ground first, and we'll try to get that right. So what we need to do is kind of guess. Let's look for an identifier. So right there on the gate, I think that's where we want to start, and then go somewhat kind of diagonal over that direction to, let's say, if I drive straight to the tree. So if I drive basically straight from the gate to the tree, and then back a ways, I think that'll give us a good thumb rule of where we are going. So actually, I've never actually done this before. I've just seen Daggerwin do it on his fish and fish and bean. It's really interesting. He made like an entire series out of a bee farm and a fish farm, and it's actually still going on. As far as I know, I've seen him publish an episode recently, so I'm not sure how much further he's going to continue that on. But that's actually a really cool series if you haven't checked that out on his PGR Bruzda map. It's he turned into fish and bees. It's, from what I can tell, I haven't seen every episode, but it's one of those things that just kind of took off and started happening. So that is interesting. Let's pull up the F1 menu. So we want to remove grass, that is X. Let's go to, what kind of terrain do we want? Lawn, bright dirt, original ground, we don't want that. Cultivated, we don't want that. Plowed, sowed, wide, grass field. Asphalt, we could do asphalt. Sand, concrete, pine needles, grass, gravel, leaves. We could do some more gravel, rock, paving. Ooh, paving slabs. Right there. I think I like paving slabs. Let's go to paving slabs. We can say that the story is that... Oh, did I just go past it again? I did. So we can say that the story is rocks were plentiful in a neighbor's field, so they gave us a bunch of stones to use for paving slabs. So that is the story that we are sticking to. We are using these, and I think that is just about what we said we wanted to do. I don't want to go over our current gravel there. And let's head back a little bit. I think that we want to... Yeah, there was a little bit where we needed a little bit more along this path. So let's get to the edge there with the paving slabs. And lift up and go back. And then let's kind of mark the rough edge up here. And... I think this will be right about there. Let's go right along the gravel, but we don't want to go too far because this is kind of gonna just be the entrance over there. Okay, so let's actually head back into our menu and see how that looks. Let's see if I did it right or well enough. Okay, let's look at this shed. We wanted to rotate it all the way, and right about there. Okay, so that actually looks like a pretty decent job. And I think we'll probably turn this into, some paving slabs a little bit with a path, and we'll leave the rest dirt. The two entrances there will kind of be paving slabs. So actually we need to widen the corners a little bit. But that's actually a pretty good edge being set, and we just have to go back a little bit further to kind of reach that side entrance on each side, and then we'll have to figure out the back. So if I remember, what I want to do is, this is kind of one of the doors, so let's drop it right about there, and there we go. And we'll back up a little bit more, go forward, and that might be a little bit too much, but we'll stick with it. There we go. Paving slabs, yeah. These actually turn out pretty cool. I like these paving slabs. All right. Let's go, and I think this will be basically the door right there. Yeah, that works. You know what? We can even plant a big old tree right there in the front. That could be cool. All right, let's go head over to this side, and we want the paving slabs about there, I believe. And let's go a little bit along the path like that, and about right there. I think that's what we want. And then we will finish making the entrance to the shed over here right along this path. Just like that. And we'll go straight to the edge, try to get it all so there's no more grass. And we're good. Okay, I like that. So let's go up there. We'll finish getting rid of that grass. And then we just have to go around the edges to get the side door. So if you remember, the thing had a side door entrance to it. And I think if we do something like this, that'll be about enough to capture that side door and maybe allow us to turn from either direction there. So let's do something like that. We'll go along the edge to finish off the path. Yeah, there we go. All right, this is turning out pretty nice, I think. There we go. Got rid of the rest of that grass. And then I think if we angle it properly, actually no, this is all going to be grass, or all going to be paving stone, so it doesn't really matter. All right, so I think that will be pretty good, and then the rest of this we're just going to have to fill in. And let's check this first. Oh, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh man, I ruined it. We're going to have to make this gravel. Or maybe, I don't know. We're going to have to make that gravel. Yeah, let's undo that. Okay, so we want to remove grass on... Actually, we don't want to remove grass anymore. We're going to go to gravel and lower. And we're going to go like that. And then we're going to raise. And now we're going to find original ground. Original ground right there. Okay, so now if we lower now, we're not destroying the grass. There we go. Okay, so problem solved. Let's go back to paving stones. There we go. All right, so now we just need to figure out where the rear is going. I think that I will, once I figure this out, I will do the rest of this off screen and basically just conclude to the end. So yeah, this looks like we got a pretty good opening entrance over there, and then we just need to widen the one on the right, and then basically it looks like where I'm at, I just need to go a little bit deeper and then parallel with that front path. So I think that we basically got it. I will jump to the end when I am done. Catch you guys on the other side. All right, I think we are done and ready to place this shed. Let's see what it looks like. I think that right about there is pretty, maybe tilted a little bit more, a little bit off kilter, I think is what we want, maybe, right? Something like that. I think that's just about perfect. All right, let's try that and see what we get. I might have to go into Giants Editor and level that ground just a little bit. That looks a little bit weird. I think I'll go into Giants Editor and just level this ground. I think that's probably the best plan. And then it looks like we do need to move it slightly over to the right. Just a little bit. But overall, okay, it looks like we got a little bit there we can undo. We can go back further. Actually, I think we need to go back further. Yeah. Yeah, let's go back further. Okay. Let's actually sell that shed. And where's the shed? Placeable halls. Shed, sell. I can give myself that money back later. Let's go back in and there we go. Let's twist it around. And right about, you know what? I think that will actually be better because, there we go. Let's try that. There we go. It looks actually a little bit more level. Yeah, this end looks maybe a little bit lower. We take up a little bit more of the concrete paving slabs that we use there. If I can open the door, it might not be high enough. There we go. So let's head in there. Yeah, we're going to have to level this out a little bit, and maybe we got a smidgen too far in the rear, but I think this is overall a pretty good area to store things. We can you know, we got openings on the side and a lot of openings in the front there where we can kind of go in straight. So I like this. I think this is a very good choice. Anyway, we will get the new equipment parked in there, and you know what? I think that I will do that all off screen because I'm gonna fiddle with this just a little bit more. In case you were wondering and haven't used it before, the ground modification tool is actually a script that uses the miscellaneous. It uses this default roller here, so you don't have to buy anything special. It's just this default roller in the store, but it changes. You know, it adds all that functionality that you saw me use. Anyway, I wanted to thank you guys especially for watching this episode. Don't forget to vote 5 stars on BulletBill's West Coast map. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully this rain will end soon. Yeah, but then we'll get snow instead. So we're heading into winter, and we might fast forward a lot of this because other than feeding animals, I'm not sure what else there is to do, but actually, there's plenty to do. We can measure out the seed for spring and get the seed bought and store the seed and clean up the farm a little bit. So actually, there is quite a bit to do. We'll check back in with the progress as the steel bins go up. You know, the foundation has already been set, so they can continue to build those as the snow falls. They don't have to do any more groundwork there. If you're unfamiliar, typically steel bins, at least most of them that I've seen, they build them kind of from the ground up like this. Obviously it's not solid on the inside like that. That's just the model. But they kind of build them like this, and then they jack up the outside there, and they kind of build it from the ground up and continue just jacking it up. So that's similar to how it works in real life, and that's, you know, I just kind of set up the models to mirror that in the game. So maybe we'll have to add a little shed here or something that, you know, we can use as like a scale house or a weigh house, or, you know, somewhere to keep records of the grain stored in there. Anyway, until next time, guys, thanks again for watching, and I hope you had a great and wonderful day, and have a good Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. If you're watching this on Monday, that's when it was published for. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Until next time, bye.